We often imagine awakening as something dramatic, a lightning bolt of clarity, a voice from the heavens, a final answer to life's deepest questions. But what if enlightenment doesn't come like that? What if it arrives quietly, in the warmth of a teacup held with two hands, in the sensation of bare feet touching the floor in the morning, in the sound of a door closing softly behind you? Zen doesn't ask us to escape the world to find truth. It invites us to look directly at the world we already live in, with fresh eyes and an open heart. Could it be that folding your laundry, brushing your teeth, or walking to the market is not a distraction from your practice, but the practice itself? What if each ordinary act is sacred, not because of what it is, but how you meet it? This is the quiet revolution of mindful living. You don't have to go anywhere to wake up. You only have to show up. Right here, right now. Meditation is returning, not achieving. True meditation is not a technique to gain something. It's the art of being what you already are. We often think of meditation as a path to somewhere, a technique to master, a discipline to perfect, a doorway to some distant state of calm, clarity, or enlightenment. But what if meditation isn't about going anywhere, but coming back? Back to what? Back to here. Back to now. Back to yourself. Before the thoughts, before the striving, before the self-improvement projects. In Zen, meditation is called zazen, which simply means just sitting, not trying to become more spiritual, not trying to silence the mind, not trying to achieve some higher version of yourself, just sitting, just breathing, just being. And in that being, something profound begins to unfold. You notice how thoughts rise and fall, like waves in the ocean. You see the constant hum of craving, of fixing, of trying to become, and you let it all go. You return, not to an idea, not to a goal, but to the simple fact of this moment. The feeling of breath moving in the body, the contact of feet on the floor, the sound of wind outside the window. You don't need anything to be different. You don't need to improve what already is, because meditation is not about self-improvement. It's about self-recognition, a remembering, a homecoming. There's an old Zen saying, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. Nothing changes except everything, because now you're here for it, fully. No longer lost in the chase, no longer waiting for peace, but resting in the awareness that peace was never missing. It was simply overlooked. The mind is the sky. Thoughts are clouds. Thoughts arise and dissolve like weather in the sky. Awareness is never disturbed. Look up at the sky on a clear day. You'll see clouds drifting by. Some thin and wispy, some thick and heavy, some passing quickly, others lingering. But no matter how many clouds appear, the sky remains untouched. This is how Zen speaks of the mind. Your true nature is not the thoughts that pass through. Your true nature is the open sky they pass through. We often confuse the two. A storm of thoughts rolls in, anxiety, judgment, worry, and suddenly we become the storm. I'm a mess. I'm angry. I can't think clearly. But the sky doesn't become the clouds. It doesn't resist them, cling to them, or try to push them away. It simply holds them, gently, spaciously, without effort. You can do the same. When thoughts arise, let them. Don't chase, don't suppress. Don't believe every single one as if it holds eternal truth. Just notice, this is a thought. It's passing through. It's not who I am. Sometimes the clouds will be beautiful, inspiration, joy, insight. Sometimes they'll be dark, fear, doubt, old memories. But they are all clouds. They do not define the sky. They do not define you. Even in the stormiest moment, if you pause and breathe, you may sense it. The vastness behind the noise, the stillness behind the movement. That is you. The sky doesn't try to fix the clouds. It just is. And in the same way, your practice is not to fix the mind, but to return to the space that holds it all, silently, lovingly, patiently. Thoughts come, thoughts go, but the sky remains. Awareness is present through all states, even deep sleep. Consciousness doesn't disappear when you sleep. It simply rests without content. Close your eyes. Let go of thought. Now ask yourself, when thoughts fall silent, do you disappear? Or is something still here? In Zen, there's a quiet yet powerful insight. Awareness doesn't come and go. The mind does. Throughout the day, your experience shifts constantly. Wakefulness, dreaming, drowsiness, deep sleep. Thoughts race, emotions rise, memories flicker, and stories build themselves in loops. Then night falls. The body sinks into sleep. The mind quiets. Thoughts fade to black. But even in the silence of dreamless sleep, something remains. Not the story of me, not the voice in your head, but the simple presence of being. Awareness. It's not loud. It doesn't speak. It doesn't take credit. It doesn't need to. It just is. That's why you can wake up and say, I slept deeply. Because something was there to register the depth, not conceptually, but directly. Zen invites us to recognize this. You are not your waking thoughts, nor your sleeping dreams. You are the field in which all of it arises. Just as the sky holds the sunlight, the twilight, and the darkness, awareness holds all states of mind, including their absence. And here's the beauty. You don't have to find this awareness. You only have to notice it. It's what's always here, behind every breath, beneath every thought, even when nothing else seems to be. So when you lie down to sleep tonight, don't try to meditate. Just rest. Not as the thinker, not as the dreamer, but as the space in which dreaming, sleeping, and waking all appear and dissolve effortlessly. Mindfulness in everyday life. Every experience, traffic, arguments, eating, working, is an opportunity to wake up. A monk once asked his teacher, "What is the essence of Zen?" The master replied, "When you eat, eat. When you walk, walk." The monk paused, unsure. "But don't we all do that?" The master smiled. "No. When most people eat, their minds are somewhere else. And maybe that's true for you too. You drink your morning coffee while scrolling through headlines. You wash dishes while replaying a conversation from yesterday. You walk through your neighborhood, but your mind is already inside the office. You're doing the thing, but you're not in it. Zen invites us to return to the taste of tea on your tongue, to the warmth of water on your hands, to the sound of your own footsteps on the floor. Mindfulness isn't about adding anything extra. It's not about walking slower or acting more spiritual. It's simply the art of being where you are, fully, without needing the moment to be different. When you brush your teeth, just brush. When you fold laundry, feel the fabric. When you speak, listen with your whole self. This is where awakening hides, not in distant temples or silent caves, but in the laundry room, the checkout line, the kitchen sink. It's not about being perfect. Your mind will wander, and that's okay. The practice is in the return, back to the moment, back to the breath, back to life as it's unfolding, right here, right now. The sacred isn't somewhere else. It's in how you meet this very moment. So look again. That chore you've been avoiding, that quiet pause between tasks, that fleeting eye contact with a stranger, all of it is practice. All of it is Zen. Awakening is recognizing what's already here. You don't need to find anything. Just see clearly what has always been present. We imagine awakening as a distant summit. One day, we think, after enough meditation, enough study, enough inner work, something extraordinary will happen. A bolt of insight, a glowing light, a moment where everything finally clicks. But Zen whispers a quiet question. What if it already has? What if the truth you're seeking isn't waiting at the end of a path, but sitting silently at the beginning, waiting for you to notice? Awakening isn't a reward. It's not something you earn. It's the recognition of what has always been present. This breath, this body, this awareness reading these words right now. You don't need to fix your mind to find peace. You don't need to become someone else to be free. Freedom isn't in becoming. It's in seeing, clearly, what's already here, beneath the noise. This moment, this breath, this ordinary miracle of being. Zen says, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. Nothing changes except your relationship to everything. Now you're not lost in stories. You're not chasing a future. You're simply here, doing what needs to be done, with presence and care. And in that presence, the sacred is revealed. Not as a thunderclap, not as a flash of brilliance, but in the quiet miracle of noticing, I am already home. It turns out, you didn't have to go anywhere to wake up. Not to a mountaintop, not to a retreat center, not to some future version of yourself. The doorway was always right here, in the dish you washed, the breath you forgot, the sound of leaves brushing the sidewalk. Zen doesn't ask you to become anything new. It invites you to return, again and again, to what has never left, to this moment, to this movement, to this aliveness pulsing quietly in the middle of ordinary things. Because there is no separation between spiritual life and daily life. There is no gap between the cushion and the kitchen. The same awareness that watches thoughts in meditation can watch your hands butter toast, fold clothes, or comfort a friend. And that simple shift in how you see changes everything. When you stop rushing past the ordinary, you begin to touch the extraordinary. And in that touch, you realize mindfulness isn't something you practice. It's something you live.